imaginations, our confidence to express it creatively, and our courage to share it. So this multimedia 52 episodes, this is episode 2 in this series, will cover visual, word, writing, sound, music, movement, what I call floga. And we're going to go back and forth between these 4 mediums. And there'll be 12 artistic adventures in each of the 4 mediums. I'm using the rainbow, my inspiration for many things. Excuse me. So red is visual, yellow is writing. No, I'm sorry. Yellow is sound. Green is writing. Blue is movement. So red visual because of the visually vibrant red. Yellow is sound because of the vibration, the resonance, sound and music. Green is writing because it's the growth, sharing with ourselves our own thoughts and feelings through writing, sharing it with others is growth. And blue is movement because of the movement of the water, blue. They also correlate because intelligence is often measured by our ability to make connections. That's what the brain does. So it is natural to make connections between things. And so for me, the my muse, nature. So red is autumn, fire. Yellow is summer, earth. Green is spring, growth, emergence. Blue is winter, air, and the flow. So it correlates with the 4 primary colors in the rainbow, in the spectrum, the 4 seasons, even the 4 directions. So red is fire, east. Yellow is earth, south. Green is west. And that's growth. And spring is writing, water. And blue is winter and north, air. So as I do these artistic adventures with you, I'm going to be putting them into these 4 different primary colors, the 4 directions, the 4 seasons, categories, to keep them organized in my fear-free creativity magic box here, which I made in front of the camera out of a recycled technology box, out of a recycled cover for a drawing pad, which is my inclination in life, is to use whatever I have to recreate and reuse, repurpose, recycle, walk lighter on the earth, be more economical and ecological. So today's artistic adventure is all about writing. And I gave the suggestion the first in this series, of 4 questions we could ask ourselves. One is basically, what's our goal? The second one is, what holds us back from our goal? And we're talking about creativity and imagination. What holds us back? The third one is, what is our hope? Or that could be the fourth one. And the last one, I'm not sure which order I said last week. That's my hesitation here. But the four questions are: what are our creative goals? What holds us back from them? What is an affirmation that can help us reach them? And what is our biggest hope? Bodhi told me that I count like British people, that Americans count with their fingers, and I start with my thumb. I think that's very interesting. I do consider myself a global citizen, and I do try to have the biggest perspective I can. I'm a citizen of the Milky Way, of the universe, of the whole globe. And yes, I was born in this country, and I'm grateful for some of the privileges and opportunities that allows me. But for me, the air and the water flow around the earth. Even the earth is blown around the earth. So we're all connected. And so I think for me, the healthiest, most helpful attitude is being a global citizen. So first, I'm going to ask if anybody wants to share that was watching last week their writing response, their thoughts on what their creative goal is. I will share mine at some point, but let's see if someone would like to go first. Is Bodhi, are you seeing anybody, including yourself, that would like to go first?
Let's ask the questions one at a time and give people the opportunity to answer one at a time, and also let you respond to them one at a time. And
Yes.
yeah, I know somebody's coming in with an answer, but let me give you mine first while they're working on that. Let me pull that
Okay.
up for you. I got the pleasure of filling these out earlier, so let me grab that.
Good for you. Thank you.
So, question number one: what are your creative goals? I said to tell poignant stories in an impactful way that leaves a positive impression and to earn money from my art. So, two goals in one.
Well, I think that um, they are connected, um, and as artists, well, any business, any money-making venture we do, we have to promote, we have to get it out there, we have to share it, which for artists can be the most difficult part because it's totally different than the creative brain, the sharing it, promoting it brain. But if what you really want to do, which is beautiful, is share poignant stories that have a positive impact, I heard, on others, well, then making money from it is, it feels that they are collaborative goals in that people should appreciate it. And one form of appreciation is funding. So that sounds very uh, doable and realistic, and also very uh, a very lofty goal. Yes, I hear the bell.
All right. So, Joni B and
Yes,
Michael, they both put in answers. We actually got three people putting in answers. Let me
great.
just go in order here. So Joni B said, one, write a complete original song, finish my dollhouse miniatures, write a short story, finish painting my house in happy colors, learn new sewing skills, and finish a new painting.
Very comprehensive, Joni. Good for you. There's uh, a lot of interrelated goals there. Song, story, writing, putting feelings into words, dollhouse miniature and happy colors for your house. So you have visual, you have sound, and you have writing in there. And painting requires movement, so there's also movement in there. So very comprehensive and great goals and very achievable. And I'm going to do my best to help you complete them and feel the self-love satisfaction that comes from us believing in ourselves and focusing until we finish. So now that you've spoken it, first you figured it out. You went in your heart and mind and figured out what would fulfill you, make you happy, increase joy in your life to do. And then you had the courage to speak it and say it in front of us. So those are very, very positive, huge steps toward completing them. And then it's just a matter of find the time in your life that can work to work on them. And you might want to put them in an order, priorities. You might want to go back and forth so you can keep perspective, but you do want to do your best to complete all of them. And I think that's extremely doable. So good for you. Good on you.
Great. And then Michael B said, my creative goal is to be able to bring about understanding through my filmmaking.
Beautiful. Excellent. Filmmaking is a potentially huge audience. I believe filmmaking and music can reach the biggest audiences. Obviously, writing and books, but they're all connected. They all can be connected in that filmmaking can include writing and music. But to have a motivation to increase understanding among people through your art is very excellent and motivating, because when we make it about something larger than ourselves, we can tap into that huge energy and the collective. So great. And I look forward to any way I can help you manifest that.
Yeah, Michael has been sharing his work in progress filmmaking on our Midwest Unreal Engine and Blender group. His film, The Last Tea Dance. Very cool. Completely 3D
Excellent.
animated. A lot of fun.
Excellent.
And then,
Yep.
so on Facebook, Rizzy says, hey. And then on YouTube, DB Catalyst. Aesthetic excellence. I aspire to create visually stunning pieces that captivate and engage viewers.
Very, very high-minded and very inspirational goals. And at the same time, there's a lot of air in there for interpretation, which is beautiful and wonderful, and gives you the opportunity to take that in the direction that is meaningful, joyous, fulfilling for you. So great, great
And then
goal.
maybe I'll read one more and then you tell us your answer or move on to the next question. Joni B said, Mike's goals are to learn photography and guitar.
Excellent. Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it. And we, in this world that often congratulates, appreciates specialization, children all can do all of these different things because they haven't closed themselves down to I'm a scientist or I'm a doctor or I'm a astrophysicist or I'm a bricklayer or engineer or artist, whatever. They haven't decided that they're one thing, because none of us are. And fear of not making money is why most people specialize, and which can exclude the other parts of life. So I love hearing people spread out and explore other forms of the enjoyment of having intelligence and consciousness and awareness. So great for Michael that he's going to explore photography and guitar playing. Wonderful. And maybe he can play the song you write, Joni.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. I'll read mine and then we'll move on to the next question.
You got it.
Okay. My creative goals are to continue challenging my imagination and my willingness to express it creatively, and my courage to share it, increasing the fulfillment that comes from inspiring others to do the same. So there we go. So next question, do you want to give your answer to what holds you back? And then we'll see what other people say.
Yes. So the next question is, what holds you back? Mine was fear of not getting approval, or fear of not having the right connections.
All right. Well, it's always courageous to acknowledge our fears, and it's also extremely functional, because unless we acknowledge our fears, we can't really address them. If we pretend we don't have them or we ignore them, we can't work on them and overcome them, address them, deal with them. So good for you. And those are very universal. Fear of approval. We all want to be accepted, admired, respected. Safe is the basic thing. And we all know that if we're on our own, outside the group approval, it's like the little animal at the edge of the herd. We're more vulnerable. So it takes a lot of courage to be true to ourselves and seek our own approval, and not try to fit ourselves into containers, shapes, and sizes that other people approve of. But creativity is original. Our authenticness is our most powerful voice. So facing our fear of getting approval or not getting approval is necessary to find our own authenticity. Yes.
Michael B said, my biggest holdback is the ability to communicate my thoughts in a way that is clear, concise, and to the point in writing of the script for the film.
Well, you're doing a great job of being clear and concise so far. So you obviously do have the ability to do that. And as I've heard many great writers say, writing is rewriting. So we all have to refine as we go, we get to. And the more we do that, the more we do anything, the more we practice it, the better we get at it. So you're on that path and you're doing a good job. And I have faith in you that you can keep it going and keep it growing. Good for you. Your voice disappeared.
Right. I turned my volume off. Oops. So Joni B, her answer to question number 2, what holds you back, is mine. Lack of confidence, perfectionism, deciding what to work on and finish first.
Okay. Lack of confidence they're all universal fears. We all have them. And some of us have decided what I call policies to deal with them. So I have to face my fear every time I start one of these live streams about, do I really have anything of value to share with others? What do I know? All that lack of confidence. But then I say, well, you know, there are things that have helped you in life and you're just a human being, so they will help others. So just do it and see what you have to say or show that can help others. Pay attention to the responses and build your confidence by doing it. So the way we build our confidence is by doing what can feel frightening, and we get through it. And the more we do that, the more confidence we can build. And then deciding what to work on, that can be very debilitating, as well as perfectionism can be very debilitating. We will never be perfect. If we accept that and do the best we can, that's as good as anybody can do. So that's a choice, a policy choice, doing the best that you can and loving yourself for believing in yourself and giving yourself the time and space and materials and self-respect to overcome your perfectionism by doing it and saying, this is the best I can do, it's good enough. And then choosing what to work on. I believe that it almost doesn't matter which we work on, as long as we're working on something that is expanding our confidence. We're stepping into the joy of our creative flow, and we're hopefully enriching our lives and other people's lives by sharing it. So it almost doesn't matter. And I've seen a lot of people procrastinate and I don't know whether I should work on this or that or this or that. And all they're doing is not using that time. So the reason I say it almost doesn't matter is that if we're using the time, whether it's the dollhouse miniatures or the song or the story or painting the happy colors in your house, you're moving something forward. So that's what matters, is just do something on your path of fulfillment. And there you go. And when I'm overwhelmed, which happens to me, I organize something. My materials for painting, my sewing supplies. You want to learn some new sewing skills. So if you can't decide which of those projects you want to work on, maybe organizing your fabrics or your threads or your pins and needles, organizing something, and then there will be a moment where, like, okay, I want to work on this, and you start. So organize when you're overwhelmed, and try to use time. It is precious, and it is, in our reality, finite. So let us not waste anything, especially our precious time. All right.
And Mike's answer to question number 2, what holds you back? Self-conscious and making it a priority.
Right. Well, we self-conscious, doubts, critical mind, perfectionism, procrastination. It's epidemic, pandemic levels in our world, full of competitiveness. So another of my policies is to only compete with myself of yesterday and try to be a better me today than I was yesterday. And I am the only thing that I can be better at in this world than anybody else, me being me. And you are the only person that you can be better at than anyone else. Our authentic voice, our perspective, our style, our wisdoms, experience, the way we put things together, the way we combine things. So just start with self-love. Like, another of my policies is, if I'm having trouble getting started with the confidence, I don't know how to do this. Well, I'm often doing things I've never done before. But children, they don't like, I don't know how to play with this thing. They just start experimenting, and life is an experiment. So just experiment and see what makes you happy, what communicates what you'd like to communicate, and learn by doing it, just like children. So we are our own children, uh, and we are the guardian of our own childlike wonder. So keep that and keep moving, and you'll grow your confidence. Is
Yeah,
your
so
mic
read
off
yours
again?
and then go to the next question.
Okay. What holds me back is allowing the fear of takers to drain me from being able to give to the givers. So there you go. Often there's a lot of competitiveness and jealousy and comparison and down-putting, and often people who are unhappy want to put that unhappiness on someone else. And if you have a freedom or a joy that they haven't accessed, they feel they don't have, they might try to smash it. And fear tries to control out of fear. Love supports. So we have to surround ourselves with the few that can truly support our joy and our process, and keep the fear-based controllers at a distance. And I've had to learn that the hard way, but and I haven't, you know, I haven't reached any perfection. I still struggle with all the same things everybody struggles with. And I keep telling myself, the people that you can help deserve your help, and you deserve the joy of helping and the fulfillment that comes from it. So don't let the few drain you so the many can't get any. And I like to put these things in my little uncommon sense one-liners to find a little humor in the heaviness, a little lightness in the heaviness. Okay?
Nice. All right. And the third question is, what is your ultimate hope? And my answer to get it started off again is to create big, collaborative, cinematic worlds.
Good for you. Beautiful and inspiring and mutually beneficial. So I have faith and trust that you are doing that. And you've always been on that path and you're ever increasing it happening. So we're doing it right now. So good for you.
Yep. Okay. My mic is on. So DB Catalyst on YouTube said, get into a bunch of galleries.
Mm, great. Well, wonderful ambition. And starts with one, then there's two, then there's three. And a bunch will grow from that. So, what do they need in order to see the value in your work? How do you show them the competence, the value, the aesthetic of your work in a way that doesn't drain you, that doesn't wear you down? And now that we're in this digital era, I literally can remember slide sheets when I took my portfolio to New York when I was 30. Having to send slide sheets to people. Now we're in this digital world where sending digital photographs of our work can be so much easier and less expensive. So do the work, photograph it, get it in a presentation that speaks highly of you and your work, and then find the galleries one at a time that can appreciate what you do and get your concise. Everybody's busy. So the more impactful the presentation, the shorter time they have to spend to get your the value of your work, the more likely they will take the time to do that. So getting help, feedback from a couple people that are professionals, put your package together, get the feedback, refine it, and start. And don't take personal how rejections or people not being interested in your type of work or having any room for new artists. Don't take it personal. It is business at that level, so do it like it's business. And that's not easy because artists increase their sensitivity, and then we're supposed to market our work at like business without the sensitivity. So sometimes we have to get help with that part, and that's fine. If you can get help, if you need the help to detach, that's out there too. So if you can do it yourself and keep going. And at one point in my career, I said, I'm going to take letters of rejection as trophies, meaning that I've had the courage to put my work out there, put myself out there, and I got this rejection, which is actually an award because it's awarding my faith in myself and my work. So you can come up with ways to deal with it in a positive way. Okay.
All right. And then Joni said her answer to question number 3, what's your ultimate hope? Connect meaningfully with others by sharing my work and feeling more complete.
Beautiful. And that's very, very wonderful. And the truth is, we are all creative, and our creativity is different than other parts of human endeavors in that it shares our innermost feelings. It can share our innermost feelings, our sensitivity, our passions, our dreams, our hopes. So it takes a lot of courage and to expose our vulnerability. But when we do, it is deeply fulfilling. And I believe as an artist my whole life that I do the art because it gives me joy, but I share it because it fulfills me. And they're both necessary for a healthy life, that feeling of connection with others. And so good for you. And I'm glad you want to do that. And I think you have a lot to share, and a lot of insight, passion, inspiration that can help others. And we can all help each other. So the world is better the more of us who try. So good for you.
Great. Two more answers to this question we have.
Sure.
So Mike's answer, Joni's Mike, is to be more well-rounded and have fun.
Beautiful. Excellent. Very attainable, brilliantly simple, well-rounded is a great ambition in our often fear-based, specialized world. And that childlike wonder, that joie de vivre, is the stuff that keeps us going through the difficulties, which life is also full of. So good for you, and fun, the joy of stepping into our creative flow, increasing our happiness, medically documented, scientifically proven. So expressing ourselves is good for us. It's good for our happiness. It's good for our immune system. It's good for our lives and the people in our lives. So good for you, Mike.
And
All
then
right.
Michael B on YouTube said, I hope that what I do in the filmmaking helps to make a difference in the world and helps in bringing peace amongst mankind. I know it's hard to understand what I mean without knowing the background of the film, which is gay oriented.
Nice, nice. Well, it is understandable. Nothing, I think, actually is more understandable than wanting to increase peace in the world. It's the source that everything else good and beautiful can come from. Conflict is the source that everything destructive comes from. So peace is noble and necessary and challenging, and acceptance of one another, whoever, whatever we is natural for us, to accept one another is a position of beautiful strength, and to not need to define ourselves and each other, but to accept diversity is a mark in the natural world of the health of any ecosystem. So the more diversity among humanity, the more differences that are accepted and tolerated and appreciated, the healthier the world is. So good for you. Beautiful goal, and more power to you. So
Fantastic. Okay, so are you ready to move on to the next question?
did I share mine?
I don't think you did.
I think I will then. Okay.
David.
My hope is by growing my fear-free imagination and heart-opening creativity as an example of compassionate collaboration to help solve our individual and global issues. So there we go. We're all in it together. We're all connected. Let's have fun being connected.
Yeah, that's great. The ultimate
Okay.
goal helps drive all the smaller goals and helps us keep going. I love it. So question number 4 you asked is, what's an affirmation to help you step into your creative flow? And for that, my answer was, life is wonderful and unique. Cherish it and have fun.
Great. Great. That's a lovely affirmation. And I strongly suggest affirmations that can change and morph, and we may need one for one time and one for this endeavor and a different one for that endeavor. But to have them is like a mantra of positivity, because there's a lot of negativity we have to shield our vulnerable, sweet tenderness from in this life. So that's what an affirmation does. Do we have other examples?
Yes. So then we've got Joni B. Mine that was inspired from Clare. Love yourself enough to start and love yourself enough to finish.
Thank you. How sweet you are, and how deeply gratifying. I got chills all over my skull and down my back. How wonderful it is to be heard, and it's so deeply rewarding to help people find things within themselves that help them be happier, healthier, more joyous, and give more to the world. So thank you, Joni. That's beautiful.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. And Mike's is just try it.
Excellent. There you go. I like to say, a little story here. A man who met me must have looked me up on the internet, because he just met me, and he said, "Oh, you've done so many things. You must know what it's like to fail." And I said, "We look at life very differently. I've never failed, because I learn from everything I do, and that's accomplishment. That's success. There's no failure." Um, and he was an unhappy guy. So uh, just try things and know that there's no way to do these artistic adventures we're going on every live stream now. There's no way to do them wrong. And as I said earlier, for me, the only thing that's not right is not trying. So good for you, Mike. That's wonderful. Just try it. There you
And
go.
then Michael B said, mine is embrace my thoughts and love for myself first before all others.
There you go. Loving from from the core of where love begins, actually in the limbic core of the brain, where feelings, but we always associate it with the heart. But the truth is, that's where it starts, within us. And we can't love others, the world, nature, the elements, animals, plants, if we don't love ourselves. So we have to first love ourselves and accept ourselves and enjoy ourselves and find a way to appreciate ourselves. So love yourself first, and let it radiate out as far and wide as it can go, like a pebble on the surface of water. Let those rings of love spread. All right.
That's great. And Joni B said it was really fun to hear everybody's answers. And I agree.
I'm loving it, and we're going to continue this interactive during our each of these artistic adventures we're going on, and we get to encourage each other, and that's what it's all about. Accept each other, accept ourselves, appreciate each other, appreciate ourselves. So my affirmation is, I appreciate being able to continue challenging myself creatively and increasing the joy it brings me, while finding the courage to share it ever more widely. And that's what these live streams are about, these virtual visits, is sharing it. And so thank you for sharing your beautiful thoughts and feelings, and the courage to show us your sweet, tender vulnerability and aspirations and hopes and dreams and fears and all that. So we're gonna keep it going, and we're gonna keep going through the different categories: visual, writing, movement, sound. And so this next Monday, we're going to, it's going to be a surprise. You don't need to bring anything, but be in comfortable clothes, in a comfortable environment when you tune in, and we'll keep having fun. All right?
Yeah, great. Very cool. And remember to check out patreon.com/Clare Cooley, where you can get access to her SVGs and other cool stuff and support her work.
Right. And I wore another stenciled outfit today, the gold flowers on this lavender robe, and the stencils designs are going to keep coming out. We're moving into the warbler and wildflower phase soon here. So Patreon members get them at no additional cost. And then there's the book that has, my as truthful as I could be, as honest and open as I could be, and what I've been through and what I learned from it. So it's all good. Incandescence rising above darkness. And I'm doing these live streams because people have asked me since my 20s to teach, and I'm really glad that I'm doing it, because I learn every time, and it's deeply fulfilling to connect with you. So thank you very, very much for being here, and please tell a friend, and we'll be back on Monday at noon.
Fantastic. Great work.
And yep, and let people know that they can see them if they can't be here for the live part. They can see them anytime after on my YouTube channel, The Creativity Show. So thank you.
Check out The Creativity Show on YouTube.
All right. And thank you, Bodhi, for all of your technical assistance.
My pleasure.
And your answers. And thank you all for being here. And I really appreciate your input. And
great.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.